A very warm and non-sexual welcome to you, baby dolls. We have crypto's juiciest news. Bitcoin is still hitting the $68,500 mark, and I have changed my little magical squiggly line. Now, this squiggly line looks random, but actually I just made it stop around 35, 39%. That's usually what's happened around Bitcoin halving. You don't know if it's going to happen before, on it, or after. And what I like the most is about this type of thing, friends, is because I just want you to see something. So who cares about a dump or two if it comes next month or this month? Could be dumping right now. You don't know. What I like is that it's so obvious, okay, that the Bitcoin halving is an event, and it's very clear everybody is now negating it to zero, which is exactly what you want to see. When we come to the very, very top, there are going to be signals that everybody will be giving zero weight to. All right. Now, you're probably wondering, like, how can we apply this? Well, look, it's not the specific event itself that matters. It's the fact that you are literally standing by yourself on one side of the boat and everybody else is on the other side, and they're going to capsize. They're telling you, you know what? This time's different. There is no Bitcoin halving. It actually doesn't matter. Let me tell you something, friends. Bitcoin halving event does matter. It always matters. Why? It's because all these miners, they have plans from the little revenue that they're getting. And friends, here's the funny part. Everyone says, well, the inflation cut doesn't matter much. Yeah, here's the thing. The price is up so much that the amount of supply that the miners have does matter. And this is the funny part. It might not dump 39%, but it's going to do something at some point, all right? And no one is going to put the two together. No one's going to say it has anything to do with the Bitcoin halving dump. It's just around the Bitcoin halving, every single time, 3 out of 3 times, there is some sort of dumpity dump. So I'm just telling you to be prepared for that. And who cares if it's a 1 month or 2 red? Who gives a crap? It's more about the fact that this event, it's so pivotal and everyone knows about it and people are still not worried about it. You see, friends, I'm going to show you more evidence of this as we move on. I'm also going to show you that Ethereum is around $3,900 or American dollars, as we say. We really need this to cross, I don't know why, this $4,000 mark. But really, I mean, who cares? What's this nice little round number crossing really going to matter much to me? It's already come back to where we said it would come back. It was March 2022 zone. And now we're just waiting to see. Look at this little gap that is basically trying to fill here. The most important ratio is, of course, the ETH BTC ratio. We've been watching that like a hawk. Okay, we have not seen anything like that now. I feel, just guessing, I think that if ETH BTC can cross and flip the weekly super trend green, I think what we'll then move to is belief, where, ooh, this rally is real, right? In terms of this like warm-up alt season. But, friends, it is a Bitcoin halving year. So the alt season in this year is, traditionally, it's been a warm-up alt season. What that means is like, you don't have crypto market-wide rallies for the altcoins. It's just news cycle narratives. That's what happened in 2020. That's also what happened in 2016. In 2016, you had Ethereum. It was smart contract platforms and layer 1 chains moving up. And now, that was primarily. And now in 2020, which is a DeFi season year, it was only DeFi coins that really exploded. And you had like Aave, Synthetics, Chainlink, everything related to that as well. You also saw the Uni airdrop and stuff being done in that year as well. But if you check XRP and all these other coins, they only did, from the absolute bottom, they're only up like between 2.5 and 5.5x. But that means nothing because they were all down 95%, right? Even worse sometimes. So that's the most important distinction to make. Now, remember when I said this rally is real? Okay, that is, Optimism is this rally is real. So this part, saying this rally is real and time to get fully invested. So optimism is you start to break out. All right. That's like, oh, now we actually get to see the strength. That's what we want to see of Ethereum, because Ethereum represents more than what most people are giving it credit for. It represents yield, risk on, Ponzi altcoins, smart contract platforms, all these other funky stuff that people are going to do. What are you going to have? These people who are buying Bitcoin, they're buying it because it's in the news every day. They want to be a part of something. Okay, then they're going to realize, wait a minute, these returns suck. Oh my gosh, how much Bitcoin does Michael Saylor own? All these other things are going to start to come into play later on. Now, I also want to remind you, okay, we are in the non-believer zone, and we're going to play some actual pump music for the non-believers. See, friends, I'm telling you, I already know 95% of people are going to get absolutely destroyed and booty spanked at the next top. I 100% know. Look how scared you are to be bearish on Bitcoin. I can tell by the ferocity of the crowd's voice. Friends, I don't give a shit. I was bearish here. I'm like, yes, you look at this, by the way. You've already done into the Bitcoin ETF. You've done 213% rally. After that point, you've done another 40%. You do, friends, that's literally, think about this, okay? There's literally what? 40 on 240 is like 16%. Oh my gosh. All right, so 84% of the move was already done, priced in, and we're still waiting to see what happens. See this tiny percent everyone goes nuts for? That's the part that kills you, because you think, okay, the prices keep going up. When other people are saying, well, I don't believe this stuff, you think, oh no, negate everything. But I've already told you this many times. When Davey Soy Hoffman was crying, is because everybody thought Bitcoin would bottom out at 20,000 and it went down to 16, 15. Does that mean everything was wrong? No, it just means that Bitcoin got more cheap. I'm also going to show you something as well. Apparently, you see this green monthly candle? This was in Jan of this year. Apparently, on some exchanges like Bitfinex, it's red, which makes things a bit more confusing because we don't have these distinct big green candles like we actually had back in 2020. You see these big, nice, luscious green ones, and especially here as well. So I guess we'll wait and see what happens. Now, I just want to put this your way. This is Grant Cardone's twin brother, so Gary. Now, this is Gaza Articuno. Look what he's saying, friends. It's impossible to be bearish, okay? Bitcoin is more bullish than you can imagine. Here's why. By the way, he's told everybody to sell their house and buy Bitcoin. I promise you, I'm not freaking making this up. You're like, wait a minute. We have done 6 green monthly candles, okay? And someone's telling me to mortgage my home and buy Bitcoin up here. You know, this literally is the spirit of Michael Saylor telling everyone to mortgage their homes up here and do it. Okay, this is just, look, man, you're not a believer, friends. I'm telling you, friends, literally go back and watch my videos. I said, guys, I don't like doing leverage at all. You should never do leverage, but you should be doing it. If you're gonna ever do it, you should be doing it when everyone's crying, which is literally end of 2022, okay, and first quarter of 2023. There are actually some of you, I know you're watching, some of you did DM me, you did take out leverage, okay? There was I think a Spanish lady. I remember her. Sorry, I forgot your name. There's a couple of you guys as well. There's an American guy. There's also, I think, a Norwegian dude with a family. No, I love you all, friends. I was just thousands of names, okay? There's one guy who wears these checkered pants. To the checkered pants, man, you, sir, you're doing really well now that I think about it. This guy, this guy took out 3 credit card loans just to buy more altcoins and stuff as well. But he did it like a year ago, man. He did it a year ago. He goes, the way I see it, he goes, Tommy, either we're going to zero or we're going up. That's it from here. He goes, basically, I've seen too much crying and stuff after watching your videos. You're talking about everybody else in the industry. So, friends, when people saying it's impossible to be bearish, you know what they said at the very, very bottom? They said, I can't find a single reason to be bullish. That's exactly what they were saying down here. Okay, that's why Davey Soy Hoffman was crying down here. He's literally saying, macro's bad. Everything's going to go to zero. All right, so they're the ones you got to be concerned about. But friends, you got to go through a cycle to actually feel your own emotions, I think. But a lot of you, especially in my Telegram, speaking to a couple of you, okay, a couple of the friendship cult baby dolls, you guys have learned now from last time. You don't have real belief in yourself yet, which is okay. But you're more like, well, I was happy in 2021, and now I'm gonna have to start to flip that. But you're gonna get a sign from me. That's why, friends, I told you, most of you won't be able to click the button. You're gonna have to go super hard, super early, so that if someone says to you, hey, shave off 3% today, just shave off 3%. Shave off 3%, put 1.5% in BTC, 1.5% in USD. That's it. In DAI or whatever. That's it. And then next week, hey, let's do another 3%. And the next week after that, hey, let's do like 5%. That's the only way you can do it, because there are people, friends, they're underexposed. They're way underexposed, and they're never going to be able to click. I've got some cool news as well. GodWhale, so part of the PulseChain Richard Heart ecosystem, he deposited 20,000 Ethereum into Kraken. Now, there's some conspiracy saying that GodWhale is Richard Heart or some sort of associate. Probably. I mean, here's the thing, friends. Good. I want them working together. I want them to either be the same person or like each other. All right. I don't want people who are fighting who are on top. So it's funny. Every single time people try to say something's bearish, I'm like, you don't get it. This is a bullish thing. What are you here for? You're here for decentralization. Or are you? No, you're here for centralization to become decentralization. That's what you really want. By the way, the ecosystem is pretty much decentralized. It's just that Richard Hart's got to never click sell and send it all to zero. But here's the thing. Okay, you have to pray that Brian Boldstrong doesn't wake up tomorrow, smoke some crack, and then dump the 1.1 million BTC that Coinbase owned. That's right. They have 1.1 million Bitcoin. And yes, they can click it all to zero if they want. And also, I saw from Orange Grove Faraday. So he is kind of like Richard Hart's, kind of like sexual stalker, the guy hiding behind the curtains, jerking himself up watching him. Shout out to Mr. Orange Grove Faraday. Now, Mr. Orange Grove Faraday, he's basically tried to like, he showed that for information, right? In the past HEX cycle, in the first HEX cycle, the community thinks Richard Hart got 1 million ETH. Okay, but what he showed is that it was more like only 90 to 150,000 ETH. All right, and then the thing is, this actually made more bullish the next part. Now, most people thought, all right, he blew all of it on buying HEX up here. That's what most people thought. Okay, but Mr. Orange Grove Faraday, this was meant to be a FUD thing, and then I read it, I go, oh, wow, that's really bullish then. But that actually made me scared to get out. That actually made me scared to get out. And I'm not getting out, but that was made me really scared. What he said was, he used about 30,000 Ethereum to do this, okay, which is nothing, friends. 30,000 Ethereum is a lot. We have found, right, from Orange Grove Faraday, the wallets are linked to 220,000 ETH, friends. 220,000 ETH. And by the way, 30,000 ETH did this move. So that's why, you know, the ecosystem is leveraged on Ethereum. And look, you've noticed my change of tone, because a lot of people, look, friends, I'm reading the room, and I'm reading Richard Hart. Now, I can't speak to him. I don't have any correspondence day to day, but I'm wearing an Ash Ketchum Pokemon hat with a straight posture, and I want you to know, if Richard really wanted to buy silently and secretly, he would deploy the tornado cash everywhere and do these things in random spurts, and he would not tweet. Okay, he just do it secretly, do nothing. He buys, he starts tweeting. Okay, he starts bragging. And he's deploying from the funds, and he's doing stuff with yield and stuff. It's like very, very, very obvious. He's like, hey, everybody, you can watch this if you want. That's a man who's got his willy up and his balls out, friends. And he's basically saying to everybody, sweet, have a look, okay? Have a look and keep walking. Keep drinking your Slurpee. He's literally telling everyone that. Now, that translated to markets means I'm going to deploy a lot of funds. This ecosystem is really undervalued. So I'm giving you a chance. You should buy now and start building more stuff now, because everybody here is going to be really rich. Okay, now you haven't heard me talk like that, but I've read the room enough. It's a signal from him. So I'm basically kind of like channeling what he's basically saying. Because friends, you know this works. He's a genius. He knows this works in the real world. This is what the US Fed does. US Fed goes, we're going to print $1 billion. We're going to start printing end of next month. He goes, you basically, all your funds, you got 60 days to front run us. Because they know that's what basically gets the market going, the juices flowing. It's just psychological switch. You know that, right? It's less the money and more the psychological switch of everyone. And recently, right, just recently, we saw some Soyboy seller cash out $1 million of PulseChain. So he was the one who did this little move. I know it looks like a big candle, right? It's like, oh, wow, 4 or 5%. But on a daily, it's really nothing. Like, who cares? Someone got out $1 million here. It's really good that these people are just getting absorbed. Isn't that cool now? Cool to see, right? As we're going up, these $1 million clips, friends, used to destroy us at the bottom when they were selling out. And there were people doing it down here. They were like crushing us. And you're probably wondering, like, why $1 million? Am I just saying that as a round number? No. I reported on this just to let you know. The biggest damage in all ecosystems are sharks. And sharks are people who are around the retailer trap of their imaginary retirement number. And that number's about $1 million. So everybody with 900,000 to 1.5 million, they were the ones clicking market sell in one go at the bottom of PulseChain and PulseX and exiting. And you wonder why, right? It's because they're watching all the FUD everywhere, and they're like, oh, I still have $1 million. I can leave and I can go make like a 3x if I ever need to. If things, because friends, I know you're laughing now, but back then at the very, very lows, when OkeX delisted PulseChain at the very, very bottom, it was very, very bad, right? But look at this. As soon as they delisted, by the way, well, you went on a 460% rally, which is a 5.6x. So now at least you get to see, right? The people who do the biggest damage, it's not the super big whales, and it's not, it's more like the shark people, right? It's under them. It's people who are trying to make it wealthy, but they're just rich enough to kind of live for themselves, because they're the ones who just swipe everything. They're basically like, look, if this keeps going down to zero, I got to take this $1 million and run, because I can live off that and try to build another day. But everybody else is like 30 grand, 50 grand, 100K. Most people are just like, you know what? It makes me sending me to zero anyway. I'm just going to hold on. And guess what? They're the ones who end up making it. Speaking of making it though, by the way, I reported on this before, but there's an NVIDIA coin out here now. Friends, I did not buy this. But look at this. This is crazy. How much is this? 2,200x up. So Jensen is the AI, so NVIDIA CEO, right? And NVIDIA has like taken the world by storm because it's basically like ushering in the future of AI and everything going on. So this thing went to like, it went $55 million market cap instantly. And in my screenshot, it's 46 million. Literally, as I was making the video for it, it just ticked up. I don't know what the hell's going on with this stuff, but this is altcoins, man. This is altcoin mania. And yes, there's concerns of these froth, but this is not big, man. Once you start seeing multiple dog whiff hats, which is multiple billion valuations, and they're like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 something silly goes, then you know it's pretty much game over and you've got everybody in right now. But as far as it goes right now, nothing to be concerned about. Got to remind you again, let's go back to this, okay? So Gary Cardone, right? Look, I'm just telling you, friends, look, he's typing here, no Fear Cardone. I'm like, oh my God, bro. You are saying, just look, it just doesn't sound nice, friends. Now you're telling me up here, you have no fear. Okay, you're telling me literally, oh, at the top, after this whole move, all the way, Davey Soy Hoffman cries, and we end up with no Fear Cardone. I don't know, man. By the way, I've drawn this just in case we get it, because this is minus 39%. And then a continuation up. I hope that continues. That pattern I drew is what every Bitcoin cycle has done, by the way. Is literally you're around here, around the Bitcoin halving, there's something goes up and you continue up, okay? But this part, friends, you see around here, see what I'm circling here? This is actually Peppy season right here. Peppy season, some poopies around here. And Bitcoin doesn't move that much. Its retracements are much lower, okay? So if you actually check it, it retraced like 21%. So if you do that as well, maybe 30%, maybe we're going to be more volatile. It's still 49 to 50K. That's huge, man. Like, you know, even if Bitcoin goes back to 40, that's still amazing, man. I was scared the crash was going to take us to 20s earlier in the year, you know, last year. And look, we're out of the water, or out of the bloody waters now. So that's why, look, when he's doing screenshots and he's like, look at this side, buy. Like, he's like, hey, buy. You see, like, bro, you are circling the word buy. And look, friends, this is the funny part. He's telling us price $66,980. Like, he's bragging to you. Look how good this price is. Habib, man, no. Let's play some Habibi music for you. You're doing it wrong. Even if Bitcoin 2x's. Take some free advice from a non-billionaire wearing an Ash Ketchum Pokemon hat, sitting on a squeaky chair, okay? Giving you juicy crypto news. You're doing it wrong. All wrong, okay? I mentioned even here, friends, I spell it out for you, okay? Not financial advice. When people are saying, I have no fear and buy anything, that's not the time to buy. Maximum fear, maximum opportunity. No fear equals most of the buyers are already in. Maximum fear, maximum opportunity. No fear, that's when you actually got to be worried. When everyone's like, sweet, there's absolutely nothing to worry about, friends. You're crossing the road because you're so high on drugs, but you got a blindfold on and you can't even hear if any cars are coming. But of course, this is just Bitcoin land. You already know this, friends. Bitcoin, what, like up 40% to 50% just to give you to near 100K that everybody wants to magically click sell at. Think about the altcoins, man. So much bigger upside. Look at this. The ex-girlfriends always come running back. And that's obviously a play on the word OkeX. Okay, so OkeX, what do you have to say for yourselves? They literally delisted PulseChain at the Pico bottom. Then we go a total 520% rally. That's a 6.2x crazy. Delisting PulseChain at the Pico bottom. It's not too late to let your customers win on the next 20x pump. A lot of people are still concerned, like, hey, why are we gate listed? Why are we gate kept? Blah, blah, blah. Who cares, man? Who cares? Okay. Trust me, these exchanges are not going to bring intelligent people buying in $600 million worth. So they're going to learn the hard way, okay? We're going to remind them of it. I've got to remind you of this too, right? Firstly, look at this cute Peppy Shaman. So cute. But look at this. So based on stats, friends, there's only a 5% chance your coin doesn't diminish gains in the next cycle. I can actually name it to you off by heart, really. It was like there was Doge in its third cycle because of Elon Musk coming in. There was XRP in its second cycle, which did like a 600x, which dwarfed its first one. But the problem is XRP launched on side for the ICO investors. So I have to find out the real ICO price for XRP. But that's basically it. XRP in its second cycle versus the first one. But this is another thing. XRP's second cycle, where it didn't diminish, that was participating with crossing the chasm, the biggest technological wave of the tech adoption curve. And that's when Ethereum and stuff basically united. And Bitcoin did 100x from the low to the top. That's Bizanacci memes and John McAfee gonna eat his willy, that type of popularity stuff. So there's basically, look, it's not 0% chance, but yes, there's a look, there's a 95% chance your coin will diminish its gains. So that's why technically you go, wait, if I'm not going to get on average 95% chance I won't get as high returns as the last one, maybe I should go 10 times more aggressive if you believe there's a community and everyone's still willing to stick through the hard times. Also, it makes you think about getting into cycle 1 coins as an advantage as well. And as well, friends, look at this. We actually have one of our friends. He's saying, friends, my friend's grandma bought Ethereum. Overheard this conversation today as well. And I'm saying, grandma is long Ethereum. I repeat, grandma data is actually long Ethereum. Like, this is crazy. We're actually hearing multiple stories of this. You know how this ends some point, but it doesn't have to be a big fat giant crash, or does it? That's why just be prepared for anything. So now I want you to have a look at where are we now? Where are we now, friends? I actually think we're more towards we're so back. All right. Where back was a while ago. I think we're more like we're so back, which means it's over, comes, and then it's so over, right? But here's the thing. Because we're in a Bitcoin halving year, this cycle, it goes faster. So the it's over and then it's so over, it doesn't last, I think, 3 months anymore. It lasts more like 1 month. 1 or 2 months from the chart. That's basically one red monthly candle. And then basically you start recovering, and then that confidence is gained by everybody because you start chewing the dip. And speaking of chewing the dip, look at this, friends. This was HEX's move, okay? And we're still sitting at eHEX down here. Now, of course, we have inflation, but look, there's no more. I just track combined HEX for my, like, just intellectual curiosity. Like, what if these things were still one coins? What if, okay? So that's combined HEX. You can type in CHEX and Dex Screener. It's 2.9 cents. It's around 93%-ish down from the all-time high. But here's the thing. What we're coming into is a new paradigm, Bitcoin halving year. People don't care, oh, you were forked. We don't care. People buy free stuff and buy expensive stuff. No one really cares, right? But last time Bitcoin was at this price, $60,000, Ethereum 4,200, HEX was 25 cents. Up here, all right, 25 cents. So that is an 8x return today from, if you were to match the same point, 8x from today on combined HEX. So if there's ratios mismatching here and there, that just means, look, that's good. Other coins are only like 30% to get back to their normal price, for example, like Chainlink. So these are things that could just sit down for a long time until finally they just start repricing higher. And eHEX might actually be one of the next big plays, okay? Because this is the BankX sell war. You can see it chewed a tiny bit and it came back down. See the BankX sell war here from, like, I think 1.2 to 3 cents. So the play, if you want to participate, friends, is this is what just personally I will do. Don't sell anything. Let's say I was DCA buying. I would just DCA buy Pulse, PulseX, and PHEX, okay? And I'm just guessing. You don't know, friends. I'm guessing as PHEX goes up more and more, people will try to chew into eHEX, which means the ratio is disconnecting more and more. And that's why you might see the eHEX PHEX ratio drop. And I'll show it to you again right here. We have it here. That is just my guess, right? So you have some sort of V bottom here. Why? Because as PHEX rises, you've got to chew through this wall, and people are scared. Oh, the wall. But we know, it is the thing, man. That Martini guy and so many other people, they have no idea about this wall. They got no idea. So it's be funny. They might just be capitulating and just getting out in front of not knowing what's going on, because they probably won't see it moving. They probably see eHEX like really struggle, and PHEX is going up. And then eventually, though, as we chew the wall, so there's $13 million sitting there. Maybe as you get like through 6 million to 7 million of it, 8 million, you know, oh, we're nearing the end, more than halfway. That's when you'd probably start changing your DCA buys, go just straight eHEX, just literally straight eHEX, because they've been basically, they've got a beach ball at the under the water, and they push it really hard, and eventually when they're done, we probably see a snap up that happens quite fast. So I'm going to draw it for you right now. This is the actual wall. So that's what we might see, this thing like chew away. It can't get chewed because it's so heavy, right? But then eventually when it comes back and it finally chews this wall, you see this 2.8 cents, you might just see it go bang and just snap up straight away and actually like do some sort of gap closing there. This move will come, but that only comes after you've done the chewing of the wall, and you can't just do it in a vacuum. You need like Pulse, PulseX, and PHEX to have gone up with it, because otherwise no one's going to chew this wall. They want like a reason to. That's why these ratios are really important. You get to see the mind of the market. and you go, hey, you know, I'll buy this stuff, but when everything else is expensive, and you kind of get to see the critical point where that place may be. So that might be a good opportunity to take advantage of while we're here. You know, you can watch on-chain stuff and DEX. It might be a free fast 2x. Maybe you've got like stable coins in there for a while to get in, and you know, don't be scared if it doesn't bounce up straight away and flick up. They just, you know that, hey, we've gotten rid of the biggest seller, you know, so you know in the next wave there's a lot more opportunity. That's all we have today, friends. Make sure you like, subscribe, bit of an all. Catch you soon.